यही समय है, सही समय है, ये भारत समय है.
अरे वाह.
So I believe that this is the time. There was this other line people used to say कि अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं. So I believe अच्छे दिन आ गए हैं.
Okay.
So the next 5 years, 10 years, it's going to be very, very good. So I would say no bhuto na bhavishyati kind of a decade coming ahead.
Hello and welcome to Market Pillars Uncovered, an educational series where we provide you with insights from some of the top veterans and minds in the market world. Today we have the pleasure of joining in with Mr. Abhijit Bhave, who is the Senior Advisor at Hubbis, which is Asia's leading knowledge and networking platform for wealth management professionals. We'll be exploring a plethora of topics, given that he has expertise in some of the most marquee names previously, renowned names like Equirus Wealth, as well as Fisdom, Carvey Wealth, HSBC, and much more. So we'll be picking his brains to understand his outlook on the markets, how he sees the Indian economy shaping up, his view on investors investing for the first time, as well as some of his top picks, sectors, that is. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining in. Really appreciate you having being here today. If we're just looking at the overall landscape of where India stands, given the kind of global headlines that we've seen of late, our macros, are things in place? Because we were just chatting a while ago and you said you're an eternal bull. So what is making you so bullish on the Indian economy in special?
No, there's this line that was made famous. It is called यही समय है, सही समय है, ये भारत समय है.
अरे वाह.
So I believe that this is the time. There was this other line people used to say कि अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं. So I believe अच्छे दिन आ गए हैं.
Okay.
So the next 5 years, 10 years, it's going to be very, very good. So I would say no bhuto na bhavishyati kind of a decade coming ahead. And I just want to keep it simple. I can use a lot of jargons, but if you look at
but you'd rather use poetry.
So if you look at GDP growth or economic growth, there are three pillars. There's consumption, there is investment, and there's exports. Now, in my school, when I was young, in English, we used to write an essay on a topic called Indian population, boon or bane. And now it is clearly a boon. So India has the world's largest population, the world's largest young population, and the world's largest young earning population.
Yeah.
So that obviously means that is going to be a massive consumption, and a lot of these, lot of stuff like GST cuts, IT cuts have happened.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely thumbs up. If you look at investments, the interest rates have gone down. The government is doing a lot of investments in roads and ports and airports, metro. The private companies are now doing more investments because of the government push, the entire Make in India campaign. So that is something that is now looking up. And the third, because of thanks to Donald Trump, I think exports are going to be better distributed in terms of other countries. So on that count, basically we believe, and I believe that is going to be a big push on economic growth. And nobody can stop us, and it's a slightly patriotic thing. Nobody can stop us from being the world's largest economy sometime in the near future.
We're getting there, of course.
Yes.
And given that you painted such an optimistic and a bright picture, you're talking about the Indian economy growing and that the next decade is going to look promising. So if we had to zero in and are based on that thesis, which is it, or which are the sectors that you would identify that you think can really capitalize on this growth?
So before coming to sector, I'll just give you a simple framework. I call it the 3E framework. E for economy, E for earnings, and E for events. So if you look at any sector, if you look at any companies, you would look at these three. You have spoken of the first one now. Now on earnings, Warren Buffett had always said that the stock price is a slave of earnings. So you have to look at where is the earnings growth, and events like Trump or events like today's election results will keep on coming and going.
Okay.
So I have been a banker. I have worked for HSBC and Deutsche Bank and ICICI Bank. I've worked in corporate banking, retail banking. And if you look at banking and financial services, and there are 5 parts, I think that is a sector to look at.
Okay.
Now, banking is the backbone of economy. When the country does well, banking does well. With the interest rates coming down, the credit growth goes up, including retail lending. So that's one part of that sector. Second is lending NBFCs.
Okay.
Third is actually insurance companies.
Okay.
Because India is very underpenetrated and that sector has not done that well in the recent past. Fourth is the AMC industry, and that is where a lot of profit growth is happening. And fifth, we had the Grow IPO and a fantastic listing. So stockbroking companies, because if the equity market we expect it to do well,
there
will be ups and downs. But if it's going to do well, then obviously these companies would do well.
And so many new investors as well now.
Correct. And young investors.
Yeah. Okay, so BFSI as a theme. Would you look at some of the other sectors, say those that are closer linked to the economy, say capital goods, consumption as a theme, or are there any other sectors you're bullish on?
Absolutely. So I'll tell you three sectors if I may.
Of course.
One is
the longer the list, the better.
So consumption, so as the GDP keeps on going up, basically we look at roti, kapda, makan, and then much more, and then much more. So as people move forward from poverty to being a middle class to upper middle class, what will happen is they will start, say, buying two-wheelers, then four-wheelers, then a larger car. So the auto industry, including EVs, is going to be a great industry. There's also going to be a lot of rural demand. So those are the kind of stocks one would like to buy. Second is, we talk of equity cycles, commodity cycles, but not many actually talk of real estate cycles.
Yeah.
So, so someday I'll tell you the story of how I met Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and how I ended up buying an apartment in Bandra.
Tell us now.
It's a very long story.
Okay.
But yeah, so this was just Lehman time when the stock market had not crashed. And I had met him and I had asked him a question about, sir, equity market mein kya hoga, kaise karenge? And he actually asked me a question in front of 25 people, which is ki, ghar hai? Tumhara Bombay mein ghar hai? It was quite insulting because, and I said, nahi hai mera ghar. I was staying on rent. He said, pehle ghar le, fir mere se baat kar.
Really?
So I went and in a nice way, in a constructive way. So I went and saw 50 apartments, bought an apartment which doubled in 5 years or 4 years, and the stock market was flat in those 5 years. So that is something I would say thanks to him.
Wow.
So equity and real estate. But coming back, I believe that the real estate cycle is now coming up.
Okay.
And whether it is the second house, but actually it's more of the affordable housing, and that's a large market.
Yes.
Then you have got warehousing, you've got student housing, co-working spaces, senior living. So the works. So real estate is something that I'm very bullish about.
Real estate stocks and sectors? Yes. Okay.
Stocks. Yeah.
Okay.
And the last one is a new age company. So that is something, everybody says that there are very highly valued, price to earning of 200 times.
That was going to be my next point.
But see, when I was younger, I used to, for example, if I see a Godrej cabinet, I would say buy Godrej. If I used to use a Hindustan Lever soap, I'll say buy Hindustan Lever. So today, everybody is using Urban Company, they're using Grow, they're using Swiggy, Zomato, Nykaa.
Yeah.
So these stocks are just going to go up. The valuations can be high, but that's something that I'm also bullish about.
So you think that they're justified right now?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's very interesting. I did not expect those sectors to
from old man.
No, young at heart. And I guess there's always that conundrum is that, okay, even if I'm identifying some of these sectors, there's so much to really look at. So do I go in with the large cap names? Do I take my bets on mid caps? Do I take a punt on small caps? How exactly would you advise the exposure?
So I would say this on an average for a normal investor.
Okay.
See, large caps are good because, we have strong management, strong track record, high corporate governance, a proper moat where you would typically have predictable earnings growth. So I would say in a portfolio, while you do asset allocation, look at sub-asset allocation where 50% should be large caps. 25% can be mid caps, 15% small caps, and 10% sectoral. And the preferred sector being BFSI. Now, in large caps, one can either buy the index funds, or one can, it's very easy, do some research. You can buy some good large cap stocks. But on mid cap, small cap, sectoral, I would definitely recommend buying mutual funds.
Okay, that's
so it's as simple as that.
Way to go. That's the exposure. Okay.
Because see, the problem is that in the small caps, mid caps, a lot of things can go wrong.
Yeah.
And the stock can just wither away.
Yeah. Wither away is right. Yeah. We have seen cases of that.
So I have seen myself. I have bought stocks so I bought my first stock in 1996.
Okay, which one?
It was Reliance and SBI at that time. But buy and hold, nobody does. People actually keep on selling. If I had not sold those two stocks, I would have owned this building.
I know. I was going to say you must be a very happy man, but now you're mediocre.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've had a wealth of experience. We've spoken about some of the marquee names, reputed firms that you've worked at, and now Hubbis. Tell us a little bit more about your role here, how it works, and what you're doing for wealth management as an industry.
For the last 10 years, I was a CEO in 3 different wealth management firms, and I used to meet Hubbis every year.
Okay.
So Hubbis is the Asian community for private bankers and wealth management.
Yeah.
And now I'm on the other side. I'm advising them. So if you start with the why is that you have to get access and you have to get advice for investors.
Yeah.
So that is what Hubbis is all about. It works across nearly 70,000 individuals who are wealth management experts, either wealth management, asset management, brokerage houses, or even insurance companies. And they come together across many countries. There are at least 100 events that happen. And there's a lot of exchange of ideas. And that is where the final investor gets that opportunity of investing somewhere else. So for example, last month, somebody from Switzerland had come to India who was running a Vietnam fund.
Oh, wow.
And it was being offered to the Indian investor. So in India, the idea is that it's simple. We want to get access and good returns to customers at whatever reasonable risk, but with no bias, no costs.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking at.
Okay. Now, given that everyone's saying that our population, like you said, is a boon, the Indian economy is growing, the next decade is looking very promising. What is wealth management as a sector in India looking like compared to the rest of the world, given that you have so much exposure, you have these, you have a microscopic view of what's happening?
So again, I'll go back to Bollywood. Okay, now that we have 25,000 crores of SIPs happening, if you're a Shah Rukh Khan fan, you would know in Chennai Express, he said that do not underestimate the power of the common man.
Yeah.
So that is your SIPs. And, at these levels also, I would again go back to Shah Rukh Khan and say that picture abhi baki hai mere dost. So a lot of, a few things, I have traveled last year across tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And I've gone to places like Dimapur, Shillong, Alleppey. And what I've seen is, this is the new India. This is the young India. There is new wealth creation. And there is this pride of being an Indian. There is this animal spirit of putting money in India.
Okay.
So the financialization started in 1991 with the dream budget of Dr. Manmohan Singh. And it is a J curve, the money started moving in. Then we had demonetization, money came into banks. Then people thought that savings account, fixed deposit is not good enough for us. Then money moved into equity. And now what is happening is, one is financialization, second is new money. A lot of new money is getting created from entrepreneurs and from IPOs. So in my last organization, I saw 15 IPOs coming out closely. And I met all those 15 promoters, and they have made 100 crores, 500 crores, and one of them told me कि ये जो मैंने पैसा बनाया 30 साल की मेहनत के बाद अब मैं 5 साल में बनाऊंगा. So that is the confidence people have.
Wow.
So if you look at, we have retail investors coming in, we have local institutions coming in, and there will be a TINA factor for the FIs to come in. So many years back, we used to say कि अभी market कौन चलाता है? You say market गोरा चलाता है, which is like the FI. But today that doesn't happen, and FIs have been kind of running away. And when they come in, so you'll have quality, you'll have demand, and you will have typically these markets going up. So in wealth management, I think these are great times to make money. And if the wealth managers do their job, these are great times to make money for the clients also, investors also.
क्योंकि picture अभी बाकी है. So everyone, like you said, that there are so many of these new investors that pride to invest in India. So how do you go about choosing the right service provider or wealth management firm and make sure that you don't get your fingers burnt, because things can go the other way as well?
Correct. So first is, when do you need a wealth manager? So no, I'll just give you a line which is paracetamol versus private banking. Okay. So if I got 100 fever, I will just pop in a pill, I will sleep, I'll get better.
Yeah.
But if I've got 103 fever, I've got throat pain, I've got a stomach infection, I'll go to a doctor. So wealth managers are financial doctors.
Okay.
If I've got a less amount to invest, if I have investments only in mutual funds or fixed deposits or some bonds, I will do it myself. So I'll do a DIY.
What's your definition of less?
Nobody knows that. No, it's
Okay.
very subjective and very personal.
Okay.
So what I think is less is you might think is more, or vice
Fair.
versa. So one
Okay.
doesn't know. But typically young people,
Okay.
typically people who are tech savvy, they don't need a wealth manager today. When you go into products, so actually you can go to the amount. We go into PMS, minimum is 50 lakhs. You go into AIF, minimum is 1 crore. So if you go to a gift city, it's 100,000. So those are the kind of amounts where you need an advisor.
Okay.
Now when you, as you rightly said, I've met a lot of customers who tell me that हमारा मुंह दूध से इतना जल गया कि हम लोग छाछ भी फूक के पीते हैं.
Yeah.
I've met customers who have been sold 60 insurance policies.
Yeah.
I've met customers who have lost, who came with 10 crores, went away with 1 crore in broking. So obviously the industry has had these, what should I say, bad fish. So what you have to do is, one is, again, 4 T's I'll say, trust, transparency, technology and talent. So first is you have to understand how good the company is by the track record. Maybe do a few ref checks. When you actually meet the RM, the first thing you have to see is the attitude.
Yeah.
Is RM throwing you attitude or he is humble because he needs your money? Does he have the knowledge? And will he be your long-term partner? And then you give your money in good faith, but you don't go like this very old ad which said, fill it, shut it, forget it. You can't do that. You have to keep on going back. So
monitoring.
Do a review, maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year. And it's a simple thing. If the RM has told you that आपको ना 12% मिल जाएगा, 6 महीने हो गए, I go and ask him 6% मिला मुझे, ये मार्केट में 6% मिला, आपने मुझे कितना रिटर्न दिया? So it is something you keep on checking out. And after a year or so, and I've been completely, what should I say, honest about it, because I've seen the reverse. After a year, if the client has got some 4%, 5%, I think it is his right to ask the wealth manager कि आपने कितना कमाया. So I think you select based on trust, which is based on subjective factors, but you also keep on monitoring that. And today technology, how easy it is to invest. So that's important. For example, if I look at red flags and green flags, so let me just talk about that.
You've stolen my next question.
Sorry for that. But there are good RMs and there are not so good RMs. So typical behavior is that good RM will be somebody who will look at your profile, your dreams and goals, your asset allocation, your risk profiling, and not go and sell a product to you. And a not so good RM will actually start chipcawing a so-called high revenue product. But a good thing, a bad thing that is something that will give you a red flag is the RM not picking my phone when the markets are down? And is the RM in regular touch with me? And obviously you look at the performance that is going to happen. So a lot of things, and you'll have to, I would recommend you always have more than one advisor.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because what will happen is you will compare, you will contrast, you will play one against the other. And you'll
you
get
have
better
leverage
advice.
then.
Yeah.
Okay, and remember the 4 T's also.
Correct.
Okay. What an illustrious career you've had. Tell us about how you got started. Was it something that you always knew that this is the industry that you would be in? Were you fascinated by it when you were younger? Did it happen by chance? And what have been your milestones and challenging times?
It happened by chance and luck.
Okay.
So I'm a mechanical engineer. I was working. I had a rich uncle who told me MBA कर लो, ज़्यादा पैसे मिलेंगे, कम काम करना पड़ेगा. So I did an MBA, and after that I joined Unit Trust of India, which so many years back was managing 60,000 crores.
Wow.
And that's when I found that there's a lot of fun in meeting rich clients, and that's when I stayed in that industry. I've been very lucky also. So I worked in corporate banking. I was also lending money. I worked in retail banking. I worked in international banks. I worked overseas, and at 42, I became a so-called CEO. But there's a F word, which is failure, which is the fear of failure.
That's the F word.
So failures, I think, are good for you.
Part and parcel.
And they're actually good for you because they make you appreciate your successes more. They keep you humble. And there's this new term which I love. It's called humbition. Humility plus ambition.
I love it. I'm going to
I
steal
think-
that one.
Yeah. I stole from somebody.
Yeah, it's fine now. I'll say it's my own.
Yeah.
Okay, that is so
So,
interesting.
yeah.
And, I think that's what makes you who you are. And I'm sure a
Huh.
lot of people look up to you within the industry and would want to learn more from you. So what would be the advice that you would give younger generation
Huh.
today with technology at our fingertips who want to enter this industry?
So, there's this 4 values that I believe in, and the full form is iPod.
Okay.
So, I for integrity, P for positivity, O for ownership, and D for dependability. So, when you start your careers, obviously, there is no replacement for hard work. At the same time, you will have to be dependable. Like Salman Khan said, ना एक बार मैंने commitment कर दी तो मैं अपने आप के भी नहीं सुनता हूँ. तो एक बार you give your word to your customer, you give your word to your boss, you better do it. The other thing is, normally when you come from an MBA school, you have a chip on your shoulder. And you think I know it all. But I think that is where you'll have to understand that you have to learn and learn and
Constant
learn.
learning.
And a good reader is a good leader. And that would keep you on the toes because the world is changing so
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of other people. Like I used to work in a fintech firm. I was the CEO of the firm, and I was double the average age. And these guys knew more than me.
Yeah.
So I learned the terms UI, UX, UJ, API integration, and that kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
so-
that the constant learning mindset is so critical, which is why
Correct.
I can't wait to read the book that you've so kindly shared with me. Thanks for that. So when you're not reading and when you're not at your computer screen and mingling with the richest people in Asia, tell us what keeps you busy.
So I love traveling,
Okay.
and I think I would have traveled to whatever 30, 40 countries, but
Wow.
these are great experiences which remain with you, and it's worth spending that money. I love reading, and I read a book every week. I love gifting books.
A week.
So I buy
Yeah.
7 books every week and give them out to people because I want people to read. It is fantastic. It really helps you.
Yeah.
And I also love writing. So I typically write a blog every week.
Okay.
And I am going to have my 25th anniversary this month. So
Congratulations.
thank you so much with the same
Yeah.
wife.
Thankfully.
So spending time with family, and I have this. My son is in class 12.
Okay.
And I have a very nice dog, Coco. So I spend time with him.
Lucky you. Family
Yeah.
is everything, isn't it? Yeah.
Correct.
It's been so interesting learning from you. I feel like we could stretch this conversation for another half hour, but I know you have other commitments. So thank you for interspersing markets with Bollywood. It's been such a pleasure learning from you, and I'm sure our viewers will benefit a lot.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me, and I think you guys are doing a fantastic job in investor education. I've also been a fan of yours in your earlier career, and Money TV, I think, is something that I will look forward to getting more and more gyan from, knowledge from.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So that brings us to the end of this insightful episode of Market Pillars Uncovered. Do remember to like, follow, share Money TV, and you'll be getting a lot more insightful interviews from the top market veterans. Till then, stay informed and invest smartly. Thanks for watching.